Senator Wu.
Honourable colleagues, I would like to also welcome everyone back to the Senate for the start of the 43rd Parliament. While I'm sure we all enjoyed the pomp and ceremony of last week's speech from the throne and the presence of many VIPs in our chamber, I must say it is nice to return to more familiar surroundings this afternoon. And it is nice to see the Speaker in his proper chair. May I also take the opportunity on behalf of the Independent Senators Group to congratulate you on your reappointment to this important position. Colleagues, in the months since we rose in June of 2019, all of us have been busy in our respective regions doing outreach, meeting with community leaders, Indigenous groups, other stakeholders, to talk about the work of the Senate, to collect information on the needs and challenges of our communities, to bring them back to this chamber so that we can advance some of these issues in the 43rd Parliament. This is inherently our job, to represent our regions, and I'm so proud as I reviewed the news clippings through the summer to learn of all our colleagues who were doing this work with such diligence. It's particularly important that we remember our role in representing the less well represented on this day, which is, of course, the 71st anniversary of the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, a document which has very strong Canadian pedigree and one which this chamber in particular pays special attention to in our deliberations. Je souhaite à nouveau la bienvenue à notre collègue.
Welcome again to the newly sworn-in Senator Lafreda. And I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Senatrice Bellemare back to the ISG. Furthermore, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to acknowledge the contributions of our colleagues who retired or moved on over the summer. Senators Andrechuk and Senators Demers, McIntyre, Neufeld, and Pratt.
And departing colleagues will be long remembered and long cherished. I want to also take the opportunity to recognize and celebrate the outstanding work of Senator Harder, who served not just with effectiveness and efficiency as the government representative in the Senate through the 42nd Parliament, but he did so with grace, dignity, and class. The fact that we had such a successful last sitting of the Parliament, getting through so much legislation, making so many amendments as we did, and doing all of that without the government having recourse to time allocation is particularly impressive, and one that I think owes much to the work of Senator Harder and to, of course, his two able colleagues, Senatrice Bellemare and Senator Mitchell. It was a pleasure working with you, Senator Harder, in the leaders group. It was a pleasure working with Senatrice Bellemare and Mitchell. We hope you will stick around for a long time because we continue to look forward to working with you on other issues. Colleagues, there has been some movement in our ranks over the last little while, which Senator Platt has already described. But these movements are trivial compared to the fact that whatever group, whatever caucus we may sit in, we are first and foremost senators of the upper chamber of the Parliament, and we remain colleagues one and all. To the new group that has been formed, the Canadian Senators Group, I bid a very warm welcome, and I want to express the willingness and desire of the Independent Senators Group to work closely with the CSG, particularly leaders, Senators Tanis and Werner. At the start of a new Parliament, with relatively little government business on our order paper, we have an opportunity to take a closer look at the rules and practices of the Senate so that we can try to improve where improvements are needed. In particular, I believe that there can be progress made in the area of increasing and enhancing and entrenching the equality of all senators and the equality of all Senate groups. Secondly, I believe there's an opportunity for us, particularly in the first few weeks and months of the new Parliament, to look at how we can also improve the better functioning of our Senate so that we can be a chamber that takes all the time we need to deliberate, to make decisions, to debate, but do it in a way that makes good use of our time. I look forward to having these further discussions in the weeks to come. Let me conclude by saying that it's a delight to be back and how we're looking forward, very much looking forward as the ISG to working together with all the groups and with all senators, and I wish us a very successful 43rd Parliament.